The Pride Festival for me is about creating a space where even if it was just one time of the year, people could feel celebrated and affirmed for who they are.
It's amazing that Spencer, Indiana, this rural community, has such an embrace of different people.
Spencer Pride, the whole festival and the group itself, the building, all of it is a great avenue for us to build friendships, build support for each other, know that you're not alone, focus on making our little slice of the world a better place and a more welcoming place.
For that one day at least, we can expand beyond the brick and mortar borders of the Spencer Pride Community Center. We can fill the entire downtown of our beautiful rural community here with love and acceptance for members of the LGBTQ community and anybody else who comes out who are allies and want to show their support. Why Spencer? It's a good question, why Spencer? And I get asked that routinely. It always makes me chuckle a little bit because oftentimes it gets asked in a way that suggests, we're operating some kind of franchise of a fast food chain or something. And we just decided, right here at 46 and 231. Why Spencer? Because Spencer was our home.
I drove through here when I was 17. I moved to Indiana when I was 17, and I drove through Spencer, Indiana one time. And I loved the tree-lined streets, the old architecture, the feel of the town, and I was like, this is where I want to live. I really strongly feel that one should not have to leave where they are born or where they live because of who they are. So, and in the olden days, that is exactly what you had to do. That's why everyone moved to the big cities, because that was the only place that you could just be safe and to meld into society. And those days are numbered or gone, and we're doing our part to make sure that people can feel welcome wherever they live.
So our first couple of years were very humble beginnings, for sure.
The festival that you see today is nothing like what it was originally. Our festival has evolved and grown. So originally it was a picnic at the park here in town. So we were like, let's get together, we'll give some food away, have a couple of booths, and just have a presence and just see if that would work.
We had 71 people in attendance and about 7 vendors.
And we weren't really sure what it was gonna be like, if it was gonna be safe or what, but we were prepared for whatever we could, was going to happen, and we were, and it was actually surprisingly wonderful.
We felt strongly that in order to educate people, we've got to be able to engage with them. They have to know we're there, and so that's what the original idea was behind the Spencer Pride Festival. We grew that over the next several years pretty significantly, more than doubling in size each year. And in year 2 actually came to the downtown area where we've been ever since. And downtown Spencer's been a great home for us, the fantastic businesses down here, just really great kind of climate and environment that's got a lot of great historic character as well. So we came over here in 2008, and we've been celebrating our Pride Festival downtown in Spencer ever since. Our festival is absolutely for everyone. When we were coming up with the idea of it, certainly we were thinking very, very small scale, and we've had to transition a lot in our mind since then. But a few of us had been to Pride festivals beforehand, and my husband Jacob and I actually had been up to Chicago Pride. Again, very different environment, but some of the things that we found really powerful when we went to Chicago Pride were, one, to see parents walking us alongside their LGBTQ children, in the parade, not just tolerating, but really celebrating their children for who they are. That was something that we found really powerful. The second thing that really resonated with us is, you look around and you would see, families, heterosexual families, gay families, single parents, whatever, but you'd see families pushing strollers around. You'd see little kids standing next to the parade and really excited about it, dressing up for it and being all geared up about the things that they saw in it. From the inception of Spencer Pride, it's always been an event where families could come together and enjoy the full afternoon as a family unit. Now, that doesn't mean every member of the family likes every bit of the day, but it's important to us that, there's something for the whole family. Visibility is really important in our community for LGBTQ people in particular. And it sounds simple, but just the presence of Spencer Pride can be a powerful thing. So I remember one Apple Butter Festival morning in particular, one Sunday morning when I was volunteering, there were a couple of us there, and this little kid rode his bike up and he was out of breath, and he saw us and kind of just took a look at our booth, and then he starts turning around and walking away, and I was like, wait, did you want to say something? Like, it was really obvious that he wanted, that something about us was meaningful to him. And I was like, didn't you want to talk to us? And he's like, no, I can't, because he had lied to his parents. So he was a gay kid, and he had lied to his parents and told them that he was going to a friend's house. He drove like 7 or 8 miles on his bike from outside of town. And if he left right then, he could get back in just in time to not raise suspicion. But he said he heard that Spencer Pride was at the Apple Butter Festival, and he just wanted to see it. He just wanted to know that we were there. He didn't believe it. And the idea that people like him could be out in public in our community and be okay was novel. And years later, this individual ended up telling us that we saved his life because there were many days that, he considered suicide, but he remembered that we existed and he knew that it could get better for him. And this is someone who didn't volunteer with us, just attended maybe our festival once a year, if he was able to do that. So no great connection with us, not attending, other programming. And this was also at a time before we had our Iris Youth Group. And so we didn't even have some of the things that we have now that we can offer local LGBTQ youth. But then just us existing, according to him, saved his life. And so that's always something that we keep in mind. It's about whether it's our festival, that one day a year where we have this big presence, this big bubble in downtown Spencer, or whether it's 365 days a year through our Spencer Pride Community Center, our Iris Youth Group, the various programming things that we have going on. That visibility is so powerful that it alone makes a difference.
My name is Lisa, Lisa Pattis, Patys, and I am Director of Volunteer Communications. We actually learned about Spencer Pride before we ever moved here, and it was the reason we moved here. I've heard a lot of, why do you have to have pride, and having had experiences where our children were not permitted to go to a specific school, or we were denied an apartment, we've had these things happen. We're just like everyone else. We've got kids, we've got houses to take care of, jobs to work, When you're not welcome everywhere, it means a lot to have that sense of community, like coming in here and knowing you're not alone, and I think we know that, like when we're teenagers, that feeling is there all the time, that are we alone? But it sticks with you sometimes, especially when you're part of a minority, I think, and it means a lot. It means a lot to not be alone. The year before we moved, we've had, my car was set on fire. I literally typed into Google LGBTQ friendly areas in Indiana, and Spencer Pride pops up. And I was like, Spencer Pride? I know where Spencer is. I grew up in Bloomfield. So I hopped on their Spencer Pride website, and it had information questions. So I sent out an email to them with several questions. You know, how do you feel about the area? Like, is it safe? You know, do you feel, do you worry about your safety? And Judy answered me, and she was like, no, it's wonderful. You know, we have this wonderful Pride Center, very active volunteers. And I was like, in Spencer? Yeah. So we came up to look at some places while we were up here. We met here at the Pride Center, and we were blown away. It really, I mean, we went and closed on a place that week because we were like, this is what we want. You know, we want that community.
I would wish that more people would educate themselves with the festival, and if they have questions, come. If you come to the festival, you will understand completely and very quickly that it is a loving environment, an open and welcoming environment for all people in every aspect. And I do get questions occasionally, which just blow my mind, that are like, oh, I'm straight, can I come? It's like, of course. Like, it is for all people, and it's a celebration of everyone.
Just come visit us. See what we're about. You'll see that we're right here in the heart of Spencer. We're tremendously visible within our community, and we're doing great things here.
I think once you know someone, it's hard to hate them. That's why I think it's important for people to come into the community center and then see our volunteers and realize, oh, this is a nice place, and everyone was just normal, because we are just like you. And I think that really does help tear down those barriers.
So we've got the most passionate volunteers in Owen County for sure, and we have a lot of them already, but we do a lot of things. And so we're always looking for new volunteers from all different perspectives, whether it's the way that you identify, whether it's the experience that you have or the lack thereof. It doesn't matter to us. We can help give you experience. We can leverage your existing experience. We just want people who are kind people, who support our mission, who are willing to donate some of their time to us, because we have a lot to do. And Spencer Pride is 100% volunteer driven. If you think about all the different things that we're doing, that's a lot over the course of the year. It's important for us to invest in our community, because we know that we all need to do a little bit of that in order to continue to allow our community to flourish.